Ain't nobody got time for that. Good morning, good life. Welcome back to AmyTV, where we come together to help you go after the life you want. Actually, really focused on the life I want right now because this is not good. I've actually made a video like this a couple years ago in the previous apartment that I was in. It would look really similar to this, where I did a power hour of my closet. And so I thought it'd be interesting to do that today, mostly because I wanted to share a photo of the mess that my closet is right now on Instagram. And I was like, see everybody? No one's perfect. And I asked if you guys wanted to see a closet reorg. And so, of course, that's why we're doing it, because you said yes. This closet lately, even when I pick up and tidy up and hang things back up, I mean, it's just been the bane of my existence. It's honestly been the skeleton in my literal closet at the moment. And I know for a fact that when things are a mess around me, I am not a productive person. If things aren't tidy, if my desk is cluttered, if my closet is cluttered, I don't get excited about getting dressed. I've been rotating the same 3 outfits for about 3 weeks. It's not a good thing, okay? So I really need to get in there and organize. But as you know, I never have unlimited amounts of time to do stuff like this. And that is why I have a ruthless closet cleanout method, and that is under the power hour. For the next hour, I'm going to be sorting through all the things in my closet. Lots of trash. I like to keep boxes for some reason because I think they're fun to look at, and now I'm like super over it. Things to throw away, and definitely sorting through all of my clothes. I find that when I do this under a very tight amount of time, I'm much more ruthless, but it's also much easier to get to my real emotions about a particular piece of clothing. We often have so much emotion tied up into our clothes. Sometimes it's because it's a gift from someone. Sometimes it's because we really loved the way we looked in something at one point and it's just not our vibe anymore. And I think that it's really important to break through that as quickly as possible. As Marie Kondo would say, if it does not spark joy, you gotta let that ish go. So we need to let some ish go today, and that is what I intend to do, so I thought I would share that experience with you here. Let's break down the ruthless method. Essentially, I'm going to take everything out of that closet, literally everything, hold it in my hand, and try to figure out what to do with it. There's only a few options. The first one, throw it in the trash. That's a pretty simple one. I mean, it's usually pretty evident. If something is destroyed or it is just junk, it goes in the trash. The second is, does it need to get donated? I love donating clothes. I actually love donating clothes more than I love selling clothes, mostly because I know the faster I get rid of it and donate it, the faster it's going to help somebody else. So there's definitely going to be a big donation pile at the end of all of this. Next, I will have some things that I want to sell. I know there's stuff in there that I've just been holding on to, so when I see it, I know the emotion that is attaching it to me, and it's mostly going to be the attachment of, this is a really nice piece of clothing, what do I do with it? Well, I'm going to list it for sale because if I'm not wearing it anymore, or I didn't like the way it looked on me the last time, it might be worth a couple bucks to somebody, so I'm probably going to put it into my Poshmark store. I will link to that below. I'm not sure how much I'm going to display of what I'm putting on Poshmark today. If you're curious of how that shook out, then we'll have some updates for you there. And of course, we got to keep some stuff, right? If we want to remember what we have to put it right in front of ourselves. The one thing that I'm going to do differently than I did last time about the things that I keep is that I have started organizing things much differently. It used to be sort of like color coordinated tops, color coordinated or style bottoms, and then a place for dresses. I really only have one place to hang long items of clothing. But in this situation, I actually have found it useful lately to try to pair things together and keep them close to each other in the closet. Can be a little bit challenging because so many things can be paired together. It's not a perfect system, but it definitely made things a lot easier in the last 6 months or so that I've been doing this, where it was like, oh, where's my favorite pair of pants to wear with this top? There's not usually very many combinations for me in that situation. Fortunately, I have a lot of light colored things, so I can alternate stuff. It's usually pretty easy to put the things together that I usually like to see together. The further apart that they are, the more likely you're gonna forget what you have in terms of total outfits, not just items of clothing. It's really easy to remember how many items of clothing you have when they're staring you down the mess that they are. But if you don't remember the potential as to why something's in your closet, that's where you can get into trouble and things just start piling up for no reason. So today it's time to get super real about what's in there, why is it in there, where should it go next, and is it gonna stay in my life? All right, let's start the clock. We have 1 hour. Ready, set, go. So I feel like the most important part of taking everything off the hanger and just dumping it and getting absolutely everything out of the closet is, first of all, a feeling of clarity. Like that instant moment that it's like getting better immediately. And you also really feel every fabric and feel every shoe, and you just get it out and you notice that you're like, get out and don't come back, or you're like, ooh, I'm gonna put you right back. You know what I mean? Like you kind of feel it with everything that's happening. And the whole time I was thinking, I hate everything in my closet. And so I don't know if that's like an unhealthy thing to feel. If you genuinely hate everything in your closet, maybe everything in your closet has to go. That's kind of at the stage of the game that I'm at right now. In some situations, it's like, okay, all of this stuff doesn't need to be on a hanger. The fact that it took me that long to pull everything off of a hanger is ridiculous. I'm rotating 3 outfits all the time. I mean, like, that's an exaggeration, but it's also not that much of an exaggeration when you think about all of the stuff that's just sitting in there, never coming off the hanger. Dresses and stuff like that I tend to wear when I'm speaking or I'm doing something professionally or it's a special event. It makes sense that that stuff's just gonna hang, but it's all the other stuff. Like, I remember this green jacket when I did this sort in 2017. It's 2020. I haven't worn that jacket. I haven't worn it. Like, that's crazy. At the time, I was thinking I haven't worn this in a really long time. So that has to go. Like, realizing all of this is just the biggest part, and it makes it so much easier to be ruthless when you don't do like sort in the closet one piece at a time. I think this is a Marie Kondo thing too. Just like put everything in a pile, because the reality is every ounce of it is what you have to go through. The only things I have hanging up are things I absolutely know for a fact I'm keeping and are very hard to de-wrinkle. That's why there's a couple things that I was a little bit more particular about. What's really important is to start sorting into all of those categories that I was talking about, and to only hang and only allow the things back into that closet space that are going to be allowed back into my life. So now let's make sense of this mess. I mean, this just makes you want nothing ever again, doesn't it? Oh my gosh. It's exhausting. Okay, the first thing I did was organize my hangers. I don't like to have more than one hanger, but I did find, even though I love the velvet hangers that I have, which just keep the clothes on so well, there's just some clothes I don't want stuck on the hanger. So some things that are more like fitness have been going on these so they can just slide off more quickly. But I've also realized that fitness clothes might be too easily accessed on hangers. So I wiped down sort of some boards here I have for shoes and organized my hangers, and now I am going to start sorting what is allowed to come back in. Okay, so I've made a lot of progress already with what I want to keep, and as you can tell, it's significantly less. I still have a few things I need to add in there, and I haven't gone through my shoes yet, but in the meantime, I have been keeping a very big pile of things I now need to sort through so that we can separate them out into where they're going to go next, because they're not going back in my closet, so they have to go someplace else. Here's one quick tip for those of you who are trying to figure out what to do with your sweaters to make sure that they don't get all messed up on a hanger or folded. So what I'll do is I'll fold mine in half. This is actually a sweater dress, so you can see it is laying as such. And then I will grab a hanger and lay it right here. And we're just gonna take this part, which could be the end of your sweater, or this is a sweater dress in this case, and we're gonna slip it through here, and then the arms, and slip it through here, and then we hang it just like that so that it is less likely to get wrinkled. So there's my sweater dress, and because of how it's hanging, it's very likely not going to be stretched or wrinkled when I take it off. All right, we got pretty ruthless in here, although if I have to tell the truth, there's still a lot going on up here. The separation technique I ended up going with was things that are a little bit more suitable versus like the sportier gear, which is like a relaxed type of day. This is literal sporty stuff. all of my leggings, Fabletics, and all of that. Like literally everything there is Fabletics. I really am a fan, people. I'm a fan. Bags always have to be very well taken care of, dusted. I got my gym bag up there, and a little sentimental about my hat from my honeymoon, so I've just left that there for a little while. I don't know, it might get in the way, so I'm gonna have to get rid of it. Huge pro tip. It is cold out. If you have boots, you can see the little tabs sticking out of my boots. I always buy these inserts. I've talked about them on Shine Squad Secrets and on in Shine Squad itself on Patreon. These things make your closet just look so much more tidy when your boots can stand up straight, and the material gets taken care of a lot better also. So I'll link to those. Got rid of a lot of dresses and coats and things of that nature. Just things I was holding on to for absolutely no reason at all. And shoes, very simply on the floor, and the ones that are a little bit more showy, I just tucked in the back just because I'm not wearing open-toed shoes at the moment because it's cold outside. So they're out so I can see them, but they're not up here where they used to be. I actually decided to go with folding sweatshirts and pants. I usually don't do that, but lately I feel like everything on a hanger has gotten so cluttered. I need a little bit of a change up, and I don't have a dresser. So that is where we ended up. Hopefully this was helpful for you in your future organizing of your closet. What do you think? Is there anything you would have done differently? How do you typically sort? How do you usually pair things in your closet? I would love to see your organizing tips in the comments below. That is all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Make sure you subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. Cheers. Hey, are you struggling to find time for the things you love? Feel like you're constantly on the go, but taking care of everyone else first? You are not alone, and you deserve so much more. Not only are you capable of taking on this challenge, you already have all the tools it takes to make it happen. That resourcefulness is all you need to get activated by your new daily mantra. Good morning, good life. It's my new book, and it launches on Amazon on December 10th. More details at goodmorninggoodlife.com. All right, intro. Good morning, good life. Welcome back to AmyTV, where we help each other go after the lives that we want. That's not actually what the line is, but it sounds good. Hoping for the best.